Hey friend, are you new to iMovie and want to learn very quickly how it works? I'm Sarissa with Immerse Photography and Sparkle Society, and in this super short tutorial, I'm going to show you the basic features that you need to know to create your first iMovie. So we're not going to waste any time and we're going to get started right here and right now. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is create something in your iMovie library to sort your documents. So I've created inside of my 2015 folder, I've created an iMovie tutorial folder. Now I've already imported the images, the audio, and everything that I want to use, but if I wanted to add something else, I would simply come here to the import button and bring in whatever it is that I wanted. Now that I have the documents that I'm going to be working with, I'm going to create a new movie. You can also do a trailer, but I like to do a movie. And when you open this up, you're going to see that you have a lot of different themes. I personally like to do no theme and create my own. So I'm going to title it iMovie Tutorial. Hopefully I spelled that right. It's hard to talk and type at the same time. So iMovie Tutorial. Now what you're going to see is that I have the title of my tutorial up here. I have my documents. This is my raw video footage, and this is right here my audio. And then this is where I'm going to be creating all of my images. Now, if you're working inside of Lightroom, if you're a photographer, this is a very similar workflow. You're going to import what you need, you're going to edit it down here, and then you're going to export it by sharing it up here. It's a very similar workflow. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to take my class invite video and I'm going to drop it down here. Now, this is really small and hard to see. And in a 2 to 3 minute clip, it's going to be really tricky to edit the beginning and end of this. So I like to come over here. I like to increase the clip size. See how much easier that makes it? And I also like to increase, there we go, the length of it a little bit, because now you can really see your audio files. You can see your audio wavelengths, and I think that's really important. And here's why. I use a separate audio recorder because the acoustics in my studio are horrible. And so I like to use a Zoom recorder to get my audio. So I have to sync the audio and my video together. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and trim this down a little bit, and I'm gonna show you exactly what to do. Now, if we look at my video, and I'm gonna explain what I did here in a moment. If you look at my video, you can see that I clapped at the beginning of the video. Now, that is one way to pep myself up and get ready for my video, but it also does something else. If you look down here in the two audio tracks, it gives a spike in my audio, and it makes it very easy to sync those two things. So what I need to do is I need to grab my audio track and I need to move it just a little bit so it's perfectly lined up. So now I'm going to give it a test to see how well that audio is lined up together. So we're going to press play and see what happens.
Hey guys, I'm Sarissa with Immerse Photography.
Now you can see right there that it was pretty easily and pretty well lined up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the audio from the video and I'm going to drop it down, and then I'm going to bring up until I get a little bit of yellow, and I'm going to bring up this audio right down here, and now I'm going to press play again and see how it sounds.
Or if you found me on social media, you probably know me as Sparkle Society.
There. That's pretty well lined up. So my video looks pretty good. Okay, so once I have it lined up, I'm gonna make sure that I have my audio file selected, and I'm gonna trim it down to about right there so I have just a little bit of a lead in. And then I'm gonna select my video and I'm gonna trim that down as well. Great. Now I'm gonna scroll to the end of my video, and I am going to make sure that this is long enough. There we go, get all of that. And I'm going to trim this down again. I'm going to select my video clip. See how easy it is to trim this, you guys? It's really not as intimidating as it feels. I know if you're a photographer, at least, video can seem a little bit overwhelming. It's really not as bad as you think. Okay, so now I've got to adjust my audio. There we go. My dog started barking as I was recording and I had to start again. So here we go. So now I have everything set up and ready to go, but I want to make it a little bit more interesting. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here and I'm going to add some transitions. So I want to have it fade to white before we start, and I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so it's a little easier to work with. And at the end of my clip, I got a little excited with my scrolling there. So I'm going to drag a fade to white here at the end. Okay, perfect. Now let's say at some point in my video, I want to add a title. So I can click title here, and I like to do the soft bar white. So I'm going to put this right here, and you're going to see that that pops up over here. So I can say iMovie Tutorial, and then my description will be, welcome to Immerse Photography. Woohoo! Never would I put that, but you get the idea here. So there is my title. Now, a lot of times I like to have the title also at the closing. So I'm going to click on it, Gonna copy it, and I'm gonna come right down here and paste it right there. And right now it's only 4 seconds. I can drag this and make it as long as I want. So I'm gonna say 6.5 seconds. Again, 6.5 seconds. Now, let's say that this is an educational video and halfway through I want to add, a highlight or something that really stands out. So I could come in and I could add another one of these bars at the bottom, or I like to do something a lens flare because I'm a photographer. So I might drag this in here and that's going to go in the middle here. And I might say, wow, interesting fact. There we go. And maybe I want to change my color of this. I can say I want to make it magenta because what girl doesn't like pink? And now I can see that it's 4 seconds here. Now let's say I want to add one more thing. Let's say I want to add a photo. So I'm going to grab this photo, which has nothing to do with this video, but you get the idea. And let's say I want the video to go, or I'm sorry, the photograph to go right there. So right now I'm going to make this photograph about 10 seconds. And then what I can do right now, if you watch this movie clip, it's going to be a very harsh cut in. Okay, so I'm going to turn my audio down. But if you watch this cut in, do you see how it's a hard change to that photo? Well, I don't want that. What I want to do is I want to make it be more of a soft fade. So I'm going to grab these little dots and I'm going to fade it in over the course of about a second. So watch again. Do you see how it fades in a little bit nicer there? So we're going to pretend that that's exactly what I want. Now we're going to add one more thing to this. I want to add music because I love music. So you can go in and you can pull your own audio. You just have to remember copyright laws. I also like to go to sound effects and add some of this stuff in here. So I might want to add iReport, and I could bring that down here. I'm going to layer it right with my file. And let's say I want to make it a little bit shorter. I don't want it to be the whole video, maybe just the intro. So it's 9 seconds. All right, now if I press play down here, watch what happens.
I'm Sarissa with Immerse Photography, or if you found me on social media, you probably know.
Do you see how my audio and the music are competing? So I'm gonna drop this down. I usually find like under 10% is a really nice number. So I'm gonna come here, let's sound it out again.
Hey guys, I'm Sarissa with Immerse Photography, or if you found me on social media, you probably know me as Sparkle Society.
A little bit better of a connection there. So I'm going to put that there. And then again, if I want this on the outro, I could copy it. I could bring it down here, paste it as my outro, and I can even drag this so that it goes all the way to the end. There we go, all the way to the end of my video clip. So that's a very, very easy way to create an iMovie video. Now, one more thing I'm going to throw at you. Because I do a lot of these tutorials and I do teach online photography workshops, I also like to add my own videos. So I have them stored here in a folder, and you can see I have my little graphics up here. So I might want to click this and put this up here at the very beginning of the whole shebang. And you'll see now, and I can add a transition at the beginning. So again, it's a nice beginning here. Just kidding. Here it comes. There we go. Now I can hit the play button and watch what happens. Here comes my logo.
Hey guys, I'm Sarissa with
There goes
Immerse
my
Photography.
video. Now, when I did that, this whole area down here got out of sync, and this happens a lot, you guys. Don't let it defeat you. I'm simply going to grab this music. I'm going to drag it down here, and I'm going to drag it down this way until it's about a good time. So let's try that again. A lot of iMovie is just problem solving and paying attention when things go wrong. So music is starting. I have my logo.
Hey guys, I'm
There's the
Sarissa
video.
with Immerse Photography, or if you
That looks really official, doesn't it? Now, we're going to say that I love this video. Honestly, it's a little bit of a train wreck because I would never put some of these pieces together, but I just wanted to show you how to make it happen. Now, here's the key, you guys. All of this stuff that I'm looking at right now, down here in my editing bar, this is raw footage. And the way I explain this to people, it's like you're going to the copier and you have several different transparencies, okay? On one transparency, you have your video. On another transparency, you have your audio. Then you have your music, you have your titles, and you have your photo and your intro. And if you put an outro, there's a lot of different layers. And right now, they're all their own transparency. Well, what you have to do to get this to be a completed project is you have to put all of these things on the copier and you have to spit them out onto one piece of paper, okay? That's the analogy that I used to give my 4th and 5th grade art students. Well, the same thing is true here in iMovie. Once you have this video created, you're going to come up here to the share button. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a file, and I can tell that file exactly where I want it to go. I can change the name of it. I can tell it how big I want it to be, and then I can tell it exactly where I want it to save it. Once I've done that, I'm going to cancel this for now because I don't want to save this video. Once I have saved it, actually, I'll go ahead and give it a whirl. There we go. Next, I'm going to save it on my desktop. Yep, I'm going to hit the save button. And now if I look up here, this little spinning dial is going to start to process my material, and it's going to save it exactly where I want it to go. And you see how it's starting to show me how much time I have left? It's really nice because you can get an idea of like, okay, I've got time to go troll Facebook, or no, I need to stay focused and only check one email while I'm waiting. Here's the cool thing too, you guys. If you minimize iMovie as you're working, you'll get a little notification up here that will say your iMovie is ready. Once you've done that and you've exported your video, you guys, it is ready to share. So that's it. A quick little tutorial on how to use iMovie. It's a lot easier than you think it is. You just have to take the time to figure out how to make it happen, and then you're going to be rocking and rolling. If you have found this video tutorial helpful, and I hope you have, make sure that you subscribe here on Immerse Photography, and make sure that you click the little button up in that upper right-hand corner. You see it popping up right there? Click that little button to learn more about Immerse workshops. I teach workshops online for both pro photographers, soccer moms, entrepreneurs, and everyone in between. From social media to photography, I have a workshop that can help you. Click that button to learn more, and I will see you in class.